Thank you very much. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback. On first down, Tannehill. Throw left side complete. It's Fowler. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. So the offense lining up 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Tannehill. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Fresh set of downs here. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Green 39! Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
Here we go.
A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And not great starting field position here for the offense. On the give, this is their fullback. And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
A give to the fullback on the dive. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
So, Party, the next time we see this coaching staff, I want you to have my back here because that was really kind of a white flag type of a play, almost a little bit of a surrender. Just turn and hand it to the big guy, get what you can, and be prepared to kick the ball away.
Here's Andy Lee now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Look at this spin.
Balance.
It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 7 catches, 65 yards.
And what we just saw there was exactly what they need against this defense. Big plays. They were able to pick up a 1st down on that one. Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
7 yards to go on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. And the big meat on the D-line. We'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
An extra DB added here for the Cards on 3rd.
Blitzer play coverage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It's a 5-yard pickup, but spotted a few chain links short of the first, so a little bit of decision time here coming up on 4th down.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
So now the Packers turn things over to the special teams crew. They're on for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 46. And the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. But clearly that was a design play. I just don't know that it was the right design. Your holder to have him pick it up and kind of be the power guy trying to run through the middle. Everything has to go right for that to work.
You mean you weren't relying on just great blocking to get him through? You kind of think maybe he can help make his own way if he's an actual running back instead of the holder? Yeah, I thought the same thing.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Now a play fake here on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. No gain there on the completion. It'll be second down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. It's a really nice open field tackle.
They'll look to throw here. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
All right, here we go. All right, now look at 56.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. The numbers for him from a week ago: 19 carries, 95 yards.
And he scored his first touchdown of the year in last week's game, so now he's hoping that helps establish a rhythm, and maybe now he can score a few in bunches, starting with this one.
That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. To throw now on 2nd and 10. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
All right, here we go. Green.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Call it a gain of 5. And that'll bring up 4th down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that.
And they won't try and pooch it. It's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. Well, not only did they try to fake it, they put the ball in the arm of their punter, and it didn't work out.
Not the quarterback.
No.
The punter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
risky.
And it's so funny because when it works, genius. When it doesn't work, not so smart.
Not so genius.
In this case, not so genius, but I do admire that he went for it.
The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 0-0 our score. Back to Glendale after this timeout. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. And to give this time to the tailback. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
On 1st and 10, Tannehill. And complete into the hands of Fowler. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Now a handoff here to his running back. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now that was a good job by the defense swarming to the football. And you know it's no cinch that you're going to be able to get the ball into the end zone against them. They're number 2 against the run. So what's an offensive coordinator to do? Check your playlist.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Now Tannehill on 3rd and goal. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
So now the Packers turn things over to the special teams crew. They're on for the field goal try. And his kick here is good. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. And we were scoreless up until this point in the second quarter. Now we finally have a little action.
Let's see where this action takes us. First quarter, no points at all. Now we've got our first score of the game. Well, does that signal that we're going to get more as we go along? Or will it revert back to what we saw in the beginning of the game?
This one taken just inside the 10. And that's a big collision. He's knocked backward as they will mark him down right near the 27. And we put our attention now on the defense for the Packers. And a big reason they've got the lead here in the first half, some of these hits we're going to see here.
Almost like they're a group of superheroes, right? Something out of a comic book. Boom, pow, biff. They are really playing well and making things happen on their side of the ball.
Taking me back to my childhood a bit.
There you go. You had a collection, didn't you?
I did.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Now a handoff looking right. A very tough run, but for a short gain out near the 32. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Let's go. 3-19.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Over the middle, he finds Henderson, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. That throw good for 4. It's second down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people want to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henderson. And he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Back to throw again. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Second down here after the incomplete pass.
Here we go now.
They'll fake it. Now Tannehill. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack.
He The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
The Packers on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 16.
Let's go. Green 39.
Out of the gun, Tannehill. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll run it on the toss. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. And how about that defensive front? Creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
And a give this time to the tailback. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, we'll send you to Orlando and Larry Ridley as he'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. But no touchdowns. These guys need to give Larry some touchdowns to talk about.
Things are too easy for him right now back in the studio. Come on, guys. Help the man out. Give him something to talk about.
Tannehill over the middle this time to Fowler. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Tannehill on first down. And pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Second and 10, Tannehill. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Well, that's 2 sacks in this game, so add that to the 4 from last week. I think that's 6.
Good math. Excellent math. And look, he's going to get all the attention he deserves it. He got home and got the quarterback on the ground. But that's a concentrated team effort because you have a lot of guys who occupy blockers to allow him access to rush the passer.
The Packers on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Lucky 56.
Now it's Tannehill. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. Now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will double their lead as it's up to 6. And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took them a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. They'll drop to throw. Always got some breathing room. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. A nice gain of 21 yards. First down now, but the clock continues to move. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And some room to work. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. They'll throw now on the final play. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Terry. And he is out of bounds just a yard or 2 shy of the 10.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Cardinals are on the bad end of things at home, who will have 2 quarters to turn it around. The Packers have been the better team, though, and will try to maintain the lead in the second half. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Now 2nd and 8. Defense will get to the QB here. This ends up as a huge loss in yardage. Packers with the ball midway through the second. Defense will get to the quarterback here. This one ends up as a loss of 6. Now later on the drive, Tannehill's going to thread the needle here, and he won't be brought down until he makes it to their own 46-yard line. Packers have it later on the drive. Defense will win the battle and get the sack. This will go for a loss of 8. So that'll do it from our EA Sports Studios. Now let's get you back out to Glendale as we check back in with Brandon Godden.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, But overall, I think they wanted to be positive with him. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Well, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it a second down. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
The Cardinals on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7.
All right, here we go. 39.
He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Henderson. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 29 yards on third down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does, for a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Henderson. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? What a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different. Try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this one down near the 15. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rush will just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. A great play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Cardinals are an extra point away from grabbing the lead. Here's Phil Dawson now for the point after. And that one puts them on top here in the third. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of this?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. To throw is Tannehill. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
And that's called winning at the point of attack, isn't it? Right there in the line of scrimmage. I know he's a little bummed out now. He doesn't get credit for a tackle for a loss, but no gain, these guys will take that.
And speaking of winning, to be as cheesy as we can, he was the winner of the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award from last week, so he's really stringing together some good football.
So not only did he get a gold star, he might have gotten a gold watch too, huh?
On now is the Packers punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And we'll see what he can do on the return. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop the jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
And not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And he comes back with one complete. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Over the middle, complete. It's Henderson. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Green 39. Green 39.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Throw now on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Henderson. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think they were looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Second down, they need less than a yard to pick up the first. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. And he whips that one incomplete there. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down.
Here we go.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that'll be incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
That's so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Here we go.
And to give this time to the tailback. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They'll look to throw. That's caught at the 3. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
Extra point try now for Dawson. And it's up. It's good. Our score, 14-6. That one was an extended drive. 14 plays all told. And it winds up in a touchdown for Arizona. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not pump the ball again.
On first down, it's Tannehill. Now he's going to go up top over the middle. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. That goes for a gain of 31. Great patience in the pocket. Of course, it's easy to be patient when the protection's good, and it was.
Yeah, you've got to pat those guys on the helmet and say thanks because they gave him plenty of time to stay back there, survey the field, go through the reads that he wanted to, and deliver the ball accurately. That was really well executed.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now a first down throw, Tannehill. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
So the D gets the sack on first, and now it brings up second down. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Throwing on third down, Tannehill. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
From the red zone now, Tannehill. Wide open receiver complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's first and goal. To the air again, Tannehill. And he's got it. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. 2nd down, the ball on the 2 here. 2nd and goal. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. And give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. On 3rd down, that's Murphy. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers move back within a couple of the lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And his throw here is incomplete. And a failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And after the slow start, the numbers show he has really straightened things out. How often sometimes is that you come into a game and the defense is game planned a little differently than you expected?
More often than maybe people realize, so adjustments are often a big part of each and every game, and it's not just getting to halftime. It's series to series to make it work, and being able to hang in there when there's a little adversity early and see them able to flip it around, it's kind of gratifying for a team to watch, especially for a coach.
Three yards to go here on 2nd down. He'll look to throw. Gonna throw right side here, complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And now a 1st down following that long gain.
Let's go.
They're going to look to throw. And his throw is incomplete. So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. To throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Another incompletion would certainly be ideal defensively. A big play now. This is 3rd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
He'll drop to throw. Open man is Henderson. That's complete. And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game. And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And it is good. Oh, that one looked to be in trouble the whole way, but it does get over the bar. And that will push the lead up to 5. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
Now after the made field goal, here's Dawson back out now to send this one away on the kickoff. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. He's back to throw. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. The clock rolls as the Packers look to hurry things up. Back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. He'll look to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Back to throw. And now all of a sudden the shoe's kind of on the other foot. Maybe you pull the reins back here a bit?
Yeah, a little bit because you got to make sure that you don't score too quickly.
First down and goal to go from the 7. Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving.
False start, offense.
And that'll set him back 5.
Let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
They'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They come out here in the I. 2nd and goal from the 1. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Here's Tannehill, and this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
A score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Back to throw, Tannehill. Pass incomplete.
I think we can figure out why they went for 2 there, right? Up 1. You want to make it a field goal difference if at all possible. They didn't get it. Now they've got to play some defense down the stretch.
Yeah, not much margin for error now for your D. They just have to get it into range. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw here. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. 4th down now defensively. Charles, you know, they're just asking this crew for one more stop.
And you know that they're feeling the momentum right now, but they have to be very careful not to get over-exuberant, overexcited, and blow an assignment and give up the big 1st down.
Let's go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. They'll drop to throw. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. This secondary as a unit, they've worked really well together in this one, especially late.
A lot of cohesiveness, a lot of communication, and some great athleticism. They're playing so well now, a nickname is sure to follow. They're going to have to name this whole unit soon.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store.
Here we go. Green, 39.
He'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, Charles, a pretty exhilarating finish to the end of this ball game. At the end, the Hail Mary prayers, though, they went unanswered. Could have won it, but couldn't get it done.
Almost felt schoolyard or playground, didn't it? Yeah, you remember when you called that play? Everybody just go long and try and find someone open. They gave it a shot, but unable to successfully complete it.
So for the Packers, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they will get a home date next week against the Los Angeles Chargers. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. So long, everybody.